10 insane AFL records you won't believe. The AFL is full of fierce rivalries, passionate fans, and unforgettable moments. But behind the chaos of game day lies a history rich in jaw-dropping moments and legendary performances. Whether it's players that defied time or players who rewrote the history books, these are 10 of the most mind-blowing records in AFL history. Number 1. Most games played. Brent "Boomer" Harvey holds the record for the most games played in VFL-AFL history, a massive 432 games for North Melbourne, debuting in 1996 and retiring in 2016. Harvey's career spanned across 3 decades. Known for his explosive pace and agility, he stayed in elite form well into his late 30s. But by the time he played his final game, some of his opponents hadn't even been born. Number 2. The highest team score ever. In Round 7, 1992, Geelong put on one of the most brutal displays of attacking the footy we've ever seen. Against the Brisbane Bears, they kicked 37 goals and 17 behinds, tallying up a ridiculous 239 points.
Geelong had a training run at Carrara this afternoon as they set about creating a new VFL AFL record score. The Cats finished up kicking 37 goals 17 to eclipse the record set by Fitzroy by just 1 point. The Brisbane Bears could only manage 11 goals 9 and went down by a whopping 164 points.
Geelong's forward line was unstoppable, with Gary Ablett Sr. and Billy Brownless feasting all game. This remains the highest score ever recorded in a game in AFL history. Number 3. Most goals in a game. Imagine a player kicking 18 goals in one game. That's what Fred Fanning did in his final match for Melbourne in 1947, playing against St Kilda. Fanning was simply unstoppable, and even more remarkable, he walked away from footy immediately after, retiring at the age of 25. The record has stood for nearly 80 years and hasn't been seriously threatened in the modern era. Number 4. The longest winning streak. From 1952 to 1953, Geelong achieved something no team has done since. They won 23 games in a row. That streak stands as the longest in VFL-AFL history. Keep in mind, this was in an era with heavier bodies, muddier grounds, and far fewer substitutions. The Cats of the early 50s were a powerhouse and left a legacy that lives on to this day. Number 5. Most goals in a career. Tony Lockett holds the AFL all-time goal record with 1,360 goals, reached in 1999, when he broke Gordon Coventry's long-standing record of 1,299.
For 90 years, the Collingwood Footy Club have held the record, and for 62 years, it stood at 1,299. Will he write his name in the record book forever?
Come on, buddy.
With this kick, it's going to go. He's got it. And aren't we privileged to be a little part of it? A remarkable player.
Known for his accuracy, strength, and presence in the goal square, Lockett dominated across 281 games across St Kilda and Sydney before retiring in 2002. The closest challenger, Lance Franklin, ended his career with 1,066 goals, nearly 300 goals shy. Number 6. Most Norm Smith medals. The Norm Smith Medal is awarded to the player who was best on ground in the AFL Grand Final, and Dustin Martin has won it a total of 3 times. Even making the Grand Final 3 times is a remarkable feat, but to also win best on ground 3 times is even crazier. Martin is the only player in AFL history to achieve 3 Norm Smith medals, and this record likely won't be touched for a long time. Number 7. The longest kick ever. Picture this. It's 1976. North Melbourne needs a goal after the siren, and Malcolm Blight lines up from near the center square. He launches it with a torpedo punt, and the ball sails over the pack, over the goal line, and through the goalpost, estimated at 85 meters. It's arguably the longest successful kick in league history. Number 8. Most goals in a season. Reaching the 100-goal mark in a season is rare today, but Peter Hudson in 1971 and Bob Pratt in 1934 went well beyond that, each kicking a massive 150 goals in a season, with an average of 7 goals a game in a year before zoning and team defense dominated the game. Full forwards like Hudson and Pratt were unstoppable, and their records might truly be unbreakable. Number 9. The largest comeback. In Round 16, 2001, Essendon Football Club produced the greatest comeback in VFL-AFL history against North Melbourne Football Club. Early in the second quarter, North Melbourne looked completely in control, surging to a massive 69-point lead and appearing certain to run away with the game. But what followed was one of the most unbelievable turnarounds the league has ever seen. Essendon began chipping away at the margin with a flurry of goals, completely shifting the momentum of the match. By the final quarter, the Bombers had stormed back into the contest, kicking goal after goal, while North Melbourne struggled to slow them down. By the time the final siren sounded, Essendon had pulled off the impossible, winning 171-159 after trailing by 69 points earlier in the match. It remains the largest comeback in VFL-AFL history, a game that proved no lead is ever truly safe in Australian football. Number 10. The most games in a row. Jack Crisp holds the AFL record for most consecutive games played, appearing in 245 matches in a row for the Collingwood Football Club. His streak began in 2014 with the Brisbane Lions and continued through his time at Collingwood. Over more than a decade, he did not miss a single match due to injury, suspension, or non-selection, making it the longest continuous playing streak in AFL history.